Hello, welcome back to Ali Khan Maths. In this video I'm going to be going through the sine rule, what it is, when to use it, and exam style practice questions to show you how to use it. Remember to like and share this video, subscribe to the Ali Khan Maths YouTube channel, and leave a comment with any feedback or requests for topics or questions. We use the sine rule to find unknown angles or sides in triangles. But first you must know the notation used, which might seem a little confusing at first but makes a lot more sense when you understand it. In this triangle, for example, you can see that I've labeled the angles A, B, and C in capital letters, and the sides A, B, and C also, except in lowercase letters. You must always remember that capital letters are used for angles, and we use lowercase letters for sides, and this is usually consistent with all forms of trigonometry. In the triangle, side A is always opposite to angle A, side B is always opposite to angle B, and side C is always opposite to angle C. And now finally this brings us to the rule itself. Side A over the sine of angle A is equal to side B over the sine of angle B, which is also equal to side C over the sine of angle C. You can also use this rule in a different form, where the fractions are flipped, which can make it slightly easier when trying to work out the size of angles. However, you must make sure that if you're using the flip version of the rule, all of the terms are flipped. You can't have it so that the side A is on top and then the side B is at the bottom. It all has to be consistent. Usually in exam questions you only need to work with two of the fractions at a time. So, for example, you could be using side A, and angle B to work out the missing side B. You can use the sine rule in cases where you've got two angles on one opposite side, such as here where you've got angles A and B, and the opposite side A, or where you've got one angle, angle A, one opposite side, which is side A, or one other side, which can be side B or side C. Now I'm going to go through some exam practice questions, which shows you how the sine rule can be used within an exam. Make sure to pause the video and have a go on all of these questions yourself. In this first question, we're asked to work out the value of x, which is an angle. Now, whenever I'm doing these questions, I always find it easiest to first label out all the sides and angles which we're going to use. So we can call this angle A with capital letter, and then consequently, this side opposite it will be side A, and we can call this angle B, and thus this is side B. Since we're trying to work out the value of x, which is an angle, we can use the part of the sine rule with the angles at the top and the sides at the bottom. Now putting our values in, we've got sine 95, which is angle A, over 6.7, which is side A, is equal to sine x over 5.4. Now we can multiply both sides by 5.4 to get sine x is equal to 5.4 times sine 95 over 6.7. Since x is an angle, we can't just divide by sine on both sides, which doesn't really make sense anyway, but it's a common misconception that people make. To work out an angle, we must take the inverse function, here in this case sine to the minus 1, of both sides, leaving us with x equals sine to the minus 1 of our expression. If you plug this into a calculator, you can see that x is equal to 53.4082 something. However, remember that the question asks us for the answer to three significant figures. So rounding that, we get 53.4 as our final answer. And make sure to write the degree symbol in your answer. This second question is similar to the first. We're asked to work out the size of another angle x. So in the same way, we'll label our angles and sides again. We can call this 60 degrees, angle A, so 15 meters is side A. And then angle x can be B, so 10 meters is side B. Putting in the question values again, we have sine 60 over 15 is equal to sine x over 10. We multiply both sides by 10 once more, and take the inverse sine function to get 35.264, which can be rounded to 35.3, since we're again asked for three significant figures. So this is our final answer. Don't forget the degree symbol in your answer. This question is asking us something slightly different. To work out the perimeter of triangle ABC, firstly we'll label our sides and angles, but we can see here that the angles have already been labeled, so we just have to label the sides opposite to them. So this is side B, side C, and side A. Remember that the perimeter of a triangle is the length found when you sum up all three sides. So we add A plus B plus C to find the perimeter. Here we're already given side B, so all we need to find now is side A and side C to complete the question. Since we need to work out two unknown sides, we'll be using the version of the sine rule with the sides written on the top of the fraction. However, we still don't have enough information to start using the sine rule to work out sides A and C. Here we're only given angles B and angle C, except we're not given angle A. However, we can use the rule that the angles in the triangle sum to 180 to find this missing angle first. We simply subtract angles B and C from 180 to find that A is equal to 27 degrees. We'll first try and work out side A and start by plugging the values into the sine rule. Looking back at our diagram, we can see that since A is 27, we'll be using sine 27, B is 13.1, and angle B is 105 degrees. So our first equation will look like this. We simply multiply both sides by sine 27 to get A is equal to sine 27 multiplied by 13.1 over sine 105. You might be tempted to try and plug this into your calculator at this stage and come up with an expression for it, but then you'll have to round that, and that kind of decreases the accuracy. So personally, I wouldn't put any equal signs here and leave it at this for now. Next, to work out side C, we'll be using C over sine 48, since that's angle C, which equals 13.1 over sine 105, since that's equal to B over sine of angle B. We multiply both sides by sine 48, and we get this expression for C. Again, we'll leave it in this form and not simplify at this point. The perimeter can be found by adding up all three sides A, B, and C, which we can finally do now that we've worked out sides A and C. A is this value that we worked out over here, B is 13.1 meters, and C is equal to this final expression we have over here. Adding these all up should give you a final answer of 29.3 meters, to three significant figures, of course. The sine rule isn't a rule that you're given in the GCSE exam, so make sure you spend some time learning it since it comes up quite often. Remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you have any more questions. Thank you so much for watching.